Hello, everybody. Reggie Time here, and in just a moment, we're going to be looking at some three-bet pots I played on 15L Street. It'll be a mix of Party Blogger and GG on here, I think. I'm not sure because everything's anonymized, and I've just run up the the three-bet pots that I played for the month. I'm doing this one because I think, like most players, I stink in three-bet pots unless the spot's very easy to play. And number two, someone requested it last week or the week before. Um, so here we go. We're doing it. And we're going to look at the hands. And I'm not going to try and predict what I did. We're just going to play the hands through. And then we're going to look at them from a theoretical point of view. And that's not to say that I'm going to accept that theory was the correct line versus a particular opponent, etc. It's just to give me a better idea of what to do in three-bet pots to try and learn some more heuristics. This is a drill I'm going to do pretty frequently for the next God knows how long because my results in three-bet pots are really good, but I don't know if that's just more luck than judgment. So the plan here is just play the hand through, not try and predict anything, then look in GTO Wizard. All of these hands I lost theoretical EV. So let's see what's happening. We have a button open. We three bet. This will be pretty damn low frequency for me. I imagine this is again someone who I think is opening appropriately on buttons because if I thought I was against a player who wasn't opening appropriately, I would just flat this nearly always. We do get the call. We flop a big fat nothing. I see bet 1/3 pot, which is just standard shit rig behavior. We do have the backdoor everything. Good board for our range, etc. So I'm presuming this is okay, but who knows? And villain just folds. Okay. So what did we do wrong there? Pre-flop, it just wants call mostly. 3-bet, 30%. I did say it was low frequency, so I'm not going to beat myself up about that. On calls. Flop, it's wanting check or even smaller bets. It's mixing. Fair enough. We made a slight sizing error. Well, yeah, slight sizing error. We've gone 1/3 when it wanted 20%. But it's basically mixing between betting and checking. So I'm not going to lose too much sleep over that one. It's just a sizing error. It's a slight frequency error, as in the higher frequency option is check, but it's so close it's not going to matter, and I'm not going to worry too much about that. If this had been like check 80%, and then I'd also made a sizing error on top, I'd be more concerned. But given it's basically a 50-50 mix between check and bet, and I've just gone with 33 rather than 20, it's not something I'm going to worry about too much. I don't think there's too much to learn from that. Other than maybe, and maybe this might be something that comes up throughout the video, maybe the 1/3 C bet is not as good these days as even smaller, which is something, if that turns out to be the case, quite easy to implement. 5-4 suited here. We have a small blind open. We have the 5-4 suited. We are going to 3-bet here. I'd prefer myself to 3-bet bigger because I've just noticed stack depths. But I guess we're just going to make a shit. Sorry, I'm not supposed to be guessing what I'm doing. We make it 10. Villain calls. Flop ourselves a flush draw on a paired board. Villain checks. We bet 1/3 again. And villain folds. So what's wrong with this one? Oops, sorry, clicked it 1 2 there. Pre-flop, it's slightly reverse 3-bet to call, but it's a pure mix. It's fine. Flop, villain checks. And it wants 50% here rather than 1/3. See, I would have thought on these like paired boards we just get to bet smaller. So these are my like questions that I don't know the answer to. Like, well, not a question. It's just sizing errors. I make a lot of sizing errors clearly in 3-bet pots, and I don't know why this is half instead of 1/3. I have literally no fucking clue. Let's study this spot and see if we can figure out why it prefers half to 1/3 in terms of like what villains are continuing with versus each. So here, if we go bet 5, like we did, villains calling 70% of the time, whereas if we bet 10, so we do get a significantly more fold equity. Now let's see what I think about this in terms of what people have in real life here that they continue with. So here, blind versus blind, there's pocket 3s and pocket 4s just off the scale here that are calling versus, well, this is 25, but 1/3. So we're going to, for argument's sake, we're calling this 1/3. Do I think any of these hands are folding for 1/3 here? These are just going to be spades and diamonds, all these suited combos. Jack 10, Jack 9, 10, 8. Gut shots? No, probably not. King, Queen, Ace, Queen. Ace, Jack offs in here calling half the time, apparently, or mixing between half the time and more. I don't think that really exists. Like King 8, probably in there, King 7. Don't know, to be honest with you. It's where I need some help. I did ask my man Duesenberg to come and join me this morning, and I wasn't going to record this, but he didn't, so I'm on my own. Versus bet 10%, versus bet 50%, what now calls. And more importantly, what's folding. Or not more importantly, but. So which hands are dropping out from bet 10 to bet 50? Sorry, bet 25 to bet 50. Which hands are in there here that aren't in here? So we're getting ace jack to fold a bit more often. Getting ace 10 to fold a bit more often. Basically, everything's just folding a bit more often, like the weaker stuff. Some of like So maybe that's something that's worth considering. That bet 1/3 just doesn't get rid of enough like floats, whereas half does. So half just cleans up our equity better. Maybe that's what's happening here. So you look at the calling range there. The calling range here. Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. We're just cleaning up more equity with half pot, and we do have some equity with our actual hand. So we go back to us for just a second. What does our actual hand want to do? 5-4 suited. So what do some of our stronger hands want to do? Sorry, are we just mostly in this 50% size for most of our range? Yeah, pretty much. It's in range for that, so it doesn't matter what hand we have here. We're just using that size. So I wonder what if we change the board. Say Queen 9, 4 with 2 diamonds. So change this 9 of diamonds for we can't. Let's say for a 3 of diamonds. How would that change our strategy here? It's not a paired board. Still mostly using 50%. Not really sure what I'm getting from this, to be honest. This board was different. If we now bet a quarter versus betting half, how do calling ranges change? It's negligible, isn't it? In terms of like what you can see on this grid, we're seeing that it's flicking between half and 65%, but yeah, not massively sure what I've got from that particular study bit. It's where you need people to help to discuss things with, bounce things off, try and get a better idea of what's happening, different perspectives. But I haven't got anyone today, so there we go. Yeah, not really sure what I'll take on from that, to be honest. King Jack suited. We are 3-betting. We are facing 4-bet. I guess it's just pure calls, but I think it's pure calls in theory, but in practice, I don't know how good it is to do so. Check. We bet. He calls. Turn 3. I remember this hand. I played it yesterday, and I had absolutely no clue what to do on this turn. And I actually timed out because I was just like sat thinking that hard about fucking hell what to do here. I think in the end, I was coming down on betting again because our hand just doesn't have any decent qualities whatsoever. It just isn't going to show down very well at all. I think we still get some folds from, well, I think get quite a few folds actually. Pocket pairs, ace highs. I don't know what it's a 4-bet pot, isn't it? So what pocket pairs fold? Probably not many. There are definitely some ace highs we can get folds from though. I don't think Jackson 10's 4-bet very often. But I think like ace king just 4-bets pure most of the time. I don't fucking know. But I think I was coming down on the side of betting just because our hand didn't show down very well and we can put a lot of pressure on. Like ace king, ace jack. Maybe sometimes he's got hands like king jack, king 10 himself, where we just have him fold them rather than having bluffers on the river with them. Who knows? But we did time out anyway, if I remember correctly. And then we rivered a jack, and he checked, and now we have showdown value. We beat ace king, so no reason to bluff anymore. And Villain did have the ace king. So where did we blunder here? Well, we massively fucked up somewhere. River. Guess he wanted to value bet river, does it? Who knows? 3-bet. Edge pure calling. Flop. Oh, we did get the 2-tick option, although it's only 41%. We did choose the right option. Turn check only 28% of the time. So we got a tick here, but it's basically we're betting this 70%. And I didn't find it. And the most used size is going to be 1/3. Okay. And river. Yeah, it's just wanting us to value bet, isn't it? This isn't a bluff for this size, it's just a value bet. Okay, I'll take that one. Just value betting against. Well, let's see. Like it's wanting us to value bet. I guess it's wanting us to value bet mostly against ace king. Like Solver's gonna have pairs here on the river that humans maybe don't have. Let's see. And when we value bet this river, what's the calling range meant to be? We obviously get called by chops. Jack 10. That's not really in there. Ace 4 could well be in there. 5-4 in a 4-bet pot. These hands, these fantastic 4 hands, they don't exist in reality. Don't think that exists very often. Don't think that exists very often. Don't think that exists very often. Yeah. So even though we're getting a blunder here for not value betting, if basically now the only credible hand here that I think Villain can have that we get called by and win is this one, and possibly this one. So I think it's too thin in reality. It's obviously not too thin in Solver World, but I think in reality it's too thin, and I'm happy with my check back. But maybe sometimes just ace high calls in reality where it doesn't call in Solverland. King Queen suited. Open 3-bet. Defend. Check. Bet. Half pot. Call. Turn 3. Check. Check back. River Queen. Bet. Call. Okay. Seems reasonable to me. Let's see why the wizard thought it was unreasonable. Turn. That's where we've messed up, according to this. 3-bet pre's obviously fine. Flop, we chose the most used size. Turn. It's wanting us to barrel again. 75% pot. I'm just never finding this in game. And it's like a pure barrel as well. I'm just not finding this ever. We've been called on the flop for a half pot bet. We haven't turned any equity whatsoever. I guess just because we just have like aces, kings, queens, jacks, and that it's just not very many strong hands Villain has. Probably don't have pocket fours and pocket threes at full frequency. Maybe sometimes with 4-bet jacks. So it's probably it's just such a good spot. Range versus range. I'm just never finding this in game. Just never finding it. But it's a pretty dry board, isn't it? And what's Villain supposed to like when we bet this turn? What's he supposed to be folding if we bet turn for 75%? Villain's folding. That's a better hand. That's a better hand. That's a better hand. That's a better hand. That's a better. Just folded so many better hands out there. Yep. I think on this board texture specifically, I can completely get on board with this. It's something I'd never find. But on such dry boards where it's just really hard for Villain to have connected hard, yeah, that's something to take away. When we see bet in position on dry flops get called and the turn's basically a brick, which this is, just blast. That's something I could take away because just so many better hands just have to fold. Yep, fair enough. I like that one. King, queen off, going with the 3-bet. Call. We bet around half pot. Call. Turn jack of spades. Check, check. River deuce of spades. Check. Check. Yeah. Again, this seems pretty normal to me and not terrible. But something Solver doesn't like. Let's see what it doesn't like and see if we can figure out why it doesn't like it. Flop, it just wants smaller. Now this one's confusing because it feels to me like we can just get called by lots of hands here. We also don't want to be giving too many free cards out on this board texture. So this bet small here is confusing, to say the least. So given that's where we've made the mistake, why are we just betting small here? Probably, I imagine it's because we're wanting to be betting quite a lot of hands, but so we get to this flop. So what are we wanting to bet here for this size? It's what in this size. Try to see hands that I don't think I would have here. I don't have any of the Fantastic Four at a particular high frequency. Not cut off. These don't exist for me. That doesn't. That doesn't. These probably don't. For me, anyway. All these exist, and they all want to bet. These will exist, certain, at least at some frequency. So when we choose the bigger size, oh, hang on, I got the wrong bet size in there. What was the bet at this size? pretty much the same range, is it? Just at higher frequency. So basically, I think, is it because we use this size, some of these... Oh, Reg, what are you doing? Stop being a moron, Reg. Stop being moron. There, so this is for this size. This is for the size I used. How does it chip? It's not really differing very much at all, to be honest. Not really differing very much at all, is it? So we have like bet 33% is that. Bet 50% is that. Not a lot of difference. These hands don't. The same number of hands exist. They're just used less frequently. Again, this is just a sizing error. I'm not bothered about it, to be frank. Am I going to really care about the difference between betting half and 1/3? Not really. I mean, I should. It's probably why I'm doing this, and I'm aware this video is kind of a bag of spanners in terms of the things I'm saying. But again, it's just a sizing error. I'm not that bothered. I'm bothered if I'm getting frequency errors, not that bothered if I'm getting sizing errors. Because like, reciprocally against my peers, my sizing error is going to win or lose me more money than my frequency errors. Like I think if I get the frequencies right, most of the time I get sizing wrong. That's going to put me ahead of most of the field because I think like players in the games I play are going to make way more frequency errors than they are sizing errors. So if I'm making fewer frequency errors than reciprocally against population, I'm just doing okay, and that's borne out in my results. And again, yeah, this video is a complete bag of spanners because I'm just brain farting, but it's helping me clear things up in my mind slightly in terms of like my opinions on how I'm doing in 3-bet pots versus population, not versus theory. So we've opened here with the tens. Pure defend, I would imagine. Deuce 4 deuce, filling checks. No, Reg, no, we have to bet this hand. Let me just bet small here. I think that's a pretty big mistake here, not betting small with the tens. Now we bet small turn. He calls. And we have to value bet river, hopefully. We do. He calls. Wow, it's 3-bet threes out the small blind. So I think this is like c-bet flop. Big error, not c-betting flop, I think. Right, we moved on to this ace jack. Don't know why. A 10's in there anywhere. Here they are. Here's the 10s. Don't know. There's a hand in there that doesn't exist in my replay about the look of things. So it does do some 4-betting 10s here. I'm not a fan of that, but whatever. Yeah, it doesn't want small bet. It wants big bet. It wants half pot. Well, not big bet. It wants half pot. That's very fair. Yeah, I knew I'd butchered the flop. Well, it's actually the river we butchered, according to this. But I knew that we should have bet the flop. Check, bet, sorry. Call, river, check. It actually wants us to bet bigger on the river. Our 1/3 pot is just a blunder. Well, not a blunder, but it's a whatever the fucking red circle means. Yeah, that's fair. Too timid here. That's fair. Ace king. Open. Small 3-bet. So it's obviously some kind of like non-reg. 4-bet call. So this is a 4-bet pot, not a 3-bet pot. Check. Just range bet, I guess. Oh, I'm not supposed to be predicting. Again, I suspect I'm going to be too timid here. Yep. He blasts the river. We fold. I think too timid on the turn, probably. Maybe not bet the... Well, no, I think we always bet the flop. It's a 4-bet pot. I think we're just going to range bet flop nearly always. So is it too timid on the turn, or is it call river edge? Which is it? Too timid on the turn by the looks of things. Yeah, likes that bet on the flop. This is a relatively easy spot on the flop. We're just knowing 4-bet pots. If you just bet quarter, you're going to be doing fine. Pretty easy spot to remember. Turn. Just to rip the turn. Excuse me. Right. So, is what is to rip the turn for like 150% pot. We're deeper here. This isn't understanding that we're deeper, is it? It's just what it is. This is like, oh, we're all in for 75% when we're not. So imagine this was 100 big blinds deep. We're just ripping this turn for 3/4 pot. And what are we making Bill unfold? And do we think humans fold it? A turn. All in. And what are we getting to fold? It's taking its time, isn't it? We're back. Oh no, here we are. So we're getting folds from what hands that are better? None. So nothing better folds here. But I guess we just deny equity to all these draws. Yeah, I don't understand that, Jam. It means is it for value? Do worse hands fucking call? Seven and six calls. No, I don't understand this at all. We get value from ace jack and ace queen that are flush draws. Value from ace. Yeah, it's fucking like kind of a hybrid bet, isn't it? It's like just sometimes gets value from draws, sometimes denies equity. Nah, I'm not having this one. I'm not having this one. I think it's just too marginal. It's just better hands. We're just not getting any better hands. If we're jamming there, we're not getting any better hands to fold in theory. Then we're almost certainly not getting any better hands to fold in practice. I mean, what do we think a 3-bet call that hand looks like? Mind you, then if they're just going to do this and we're going to fold, and sometimes they'll just do this with like ace, queen of diamonds or something. Oh, maybe just jamming to prevent getting bluffed on rivers. To sometimes get value from draws, to sometimes fold out draws. Fuck me, it's slim though, isn't it? Ace king here, we 3-bet. Get called. Check flop, which I would always do on this board texture. I would just range check this board texture. Interesting to see how much range checking's going on here when we look at it. Check, turn diamond. Reg, we just need to bluff there. We're not bluff. We need to bet there. We've picked up some equity. We get some folds. Yeah, I think we need to bet, but we'll see. Check, river deuce, check, and we beat ace 10 that didn't bother bluffing. To blundered river. He likes everything except river, so it's not just a range bet on that flop, which is nice. It's not a bet on the turn, which I thought it would be. And I guess it's just wanting us to bet river. So it is doing some betting, but it's range checking more. Well, not range checking, it's checking 70%. It is starting to bet the turn, but not as frequently as I thought it would. Probably because it just has showdown value and equity. It doesn't want to get blown off. And river is just wanting us to block. What do I think about block here? I don't understand why it's wanting us to block here with this combo. I mean, it's probably just wanting us to block. It's just wanting us to bet range now, isn't it? And this is, again, it's going to be quite fucking mergy, this. Sometimes we might get called by some worse hands. Don't think we fall better very often for block. Let's have a look what's meant to be folding here for block. So we get to river and we're going to highlight both the sizes it wanted, which was 1/3 and 2/3. And the river, we use these sizes. Oh, hang on. No, that's not what we want to do, is it? Shut up. So we use this size. What's villain meant to be folding? Any better hands? Nope, not that I can see. Are they calling any worse hands? Yes, they are. Yeah, they're calling loads of worse hands. Fair enough. Yeah. If we're just gonna, if we view Ace King here as a value bet, which I don't or I didn't, so we view it as a value bet, then yeah, I get why we want to block. See, I would see, well, we're blocking here because we're just trying to make villain fold something, but we're not. We're just blocking for value. I like that. I like that. Here's queen off. Big ass open. So this is going to be a non-reg. Call. No, we're not predicting now. We see what I did. We went with 1/3. This feels like a really lazy bet. Call. Turn of spades. We barrel our equity. One calls. Check. And we give up. Okay. It's wanting us to that bluff river. Pre-flop's obviously fine. Flop. Yeah, it's range betting. Trying to check you 4% of the time. Again, just a sizing error. Again, I'm not going to worry too much about that. But maybe we stop this 33%. Maybe I'd start using 25 or 50. It seems, yeah, maybe that's something I can have a fiddle with. Turn, it was wanting to barrel, but just bigger. So I think that my turn sizing strategy. In terms of frequencies, we're doing okay. In terms of sizing, just not really big enough. Maybe in some instances. And then river, it's just wanting us to bluff everything. What do we actually show up with here? Ace 5. Not that I'm being result orientated, but I wonder if he, like, sometimes we just show down with his hand and win. Apparently we're losing out. Like, this just makes 2 big blinds. So again, it's not a monster error. It's going to be a relatively rare spot. We're only losing 2 big blinds. Oh, sorry, we're winning 2 big blinds by jamming. But again, are we winning 2 big blinds in reality with our jam? Let's have a look at what's folding when we jam river. So we'll do it as we were meant to have done it. We were meant to have bet this much on the turn. Course meant to have. Sorry, that. And then they call. And then the river was what again? 9 of clubs. They check. We're meant to go all in. And what are they folding? And do I think getting folds from that in reality? Mostly just Jack X. Folding. Do I think a fish is folding these hands here? No. They may be folding these. They're definitely folding like sixes, I would imagine. So no, so if jam here makes 2 big blinds, whereas check makes 0. And it's making 2 big blinds because it's getting Jack X to fold. No, I'm not having this one. Not having this one. I think this is fine. Because I don't think your average guy is folding Jack X here. If they've called and called again versus turn 75%, I don't think they're folding Jack X. They may be mixing folding with it, but they're not folding it pure. So yeah, not too worried about that one. If like the EV comes from making Jack X fold, and I don't think Jack X is folding, then fine. 3-bet call. C-bet tiny. Raise. Do we ever have any 3-bets here? I think I'd like to have found 3-betting game there. Check. Big bet. We just all in. Okay. We ran it twice and we won both times. Who cares about that? Where did we lose EV? We lost EV on the turn. Flop, it's like in the small bet. Lovely. It is just doing 20% fuck you jam. Turn, it just wants us to donk. Wow, I would never find donk here. Never in a fucking million years would I find donk here. Jesus. It's wanting donk, I guess, to prevent. I don't know. I don't know why it's wanting fucking donk. Do not understand this in the fucking slightest. Why is it wanting bet here? It's wanting this. So what is it wanting to donk? After calling the raise, it's wanting to donk tens? Really? Really? It's wanting to donk tens? Jack 10 off's wanting to donk? Nah, this is fucking drunk. This is fucking drunk. This is fucking mental. Was it wanting to donk? I mean, it probably just wanted to donk, or it's a spade to guess. No, it's not. It's wanting to bet it's fucking 5 of spade. Oh, I don't fucking know. This one's mental. This is just so unintuitive. It's wanting to donk, it's like 2 pairs. I don't understand this one, and I'm not going to fucking try and batter my head with it because it's such a fucking rare sport. And then to find donk. No, I don't understand that one. Answers on a postcard, please. If you've got any idea why that likes donk, or if you haven't got any idea but you want to voice an opinion on why it likes donk there, enlighten me. Open 3-bet, 4-bet, call, shit reg range bet time, call, barrel turn, picking up equity, seems reasonable to me, get jammed on, fold. It's just pure 4-betting, so I'm happy with that. And now all of a sudden, it doesn't want shit reg range bet, it wants half pot. Again, it's a sizing error, not a frequency error, so I'm not going to fucking investigate too much. Turn. Yeah, again, it's just a sizing error, not a frequency error. So turn, I go 130 wide, half pot. I'm not going to lose an awful lot of sleep over this. And that just falls. Yeah, it's not something I'm going to lose sleep. I'm just refuse to lose sleep over sizing errors. A rare heads up pot. We've been table starting here. I mean, probably just fold pre-reg. We didn't know. Bet, half pot. Reg, what are you doing? What are you doing, Reg? Fucking hell. Pre-flop's fine. It's just one pure call here. This is just messed up. This is just messed up. I don't think I like just pure call though. I think I prefer the raise. Yeah. I mean, obviously my line's fucking shit. But I think I like raise. Just not the size I chose. Ace-3 suited. 3-betting. C-betting. I wouldn't be surprised if it prefers half here. Based on what we're picking up from today. Check, check, revert, check. Maybe bluff river edge. No, it's fine with the flop size this time. Fucking hell. Well, fuck me. That's all I've got to say about this. Although it does use half some of the time. It's mixing between half and a third again. It's a sizing error, not a frequency error, so I'm not fucking bothered too much. Turn, it just wants us to continue betting. Which I guess is reasonable. Because the villain gets here with like shitloads of like pocket pairs, I guess. Ace size that we can fold out sometimes. Pocket pairs we can fold out sometimes, yeah. I'm not barreling turns enough in 3-bet pots. That's what I'm mostly taking away. Flop wise, frequencies I'm doing fine. Sizing's a bit off. Turns are misplaying. I'm not being anywhere near aggressive enough in turns on the 3-bet pots. And that seems like a relatively easy thing to fix. Squeeze. Flop a set. Don't know if we should maybe be checking that back. Who knows? Get jammed on. Call it off. Caution right into the nuts, but that doesn't matter. So we have a flop sizing error this time. Wow. Wanting to pure check back a set. Probably because this range just doesn't have much ace-x in it. And that makes sense. It didn't 3-bet pre, just cold called. So it just doesn't have much ASX. Now, that's in theory. In practice, do I think it has much ASX? No. Yet I'm on board with this one. We've got a set. Villain doesn't have a lot of ASX. Yeah, I'm on board with that one. Bit of autopilot from me there. Wow. Big 4.5x open. 3-bet. C-bet. Barrel. Again, I can't imagine this is going to be a huge error. But it was an error nevertheless, and it was a turn error. Flop sizing error and turn error in general. It's like an overbet here, is it's... No, it's not, sorry. It's like in our size. If we are betting, our size is the highest frequency size used, so I'm happy with that. Turn. Oops, sorry. It's on us, isn't it? Just went bigger bets. Fine. Just made another sizing error. Again, genuinely not too bothered about that. And that's the last hand. So yeah, the takeaways I've got from this is most of my errors have been sizing errors. I haven't made many frequency errors. And then just increased turn aggression. So I'm quite happy with that. Even though like my bumbling through some parts of the video might have been a bit shit. I've got to the end of it and I feel, even though I haven't got anything into that, how am I going to play these spots better? I haven't got a lot about that. We just find more turn aggression versus capture ranges in position reg. And then, you know, the rest of my errors have mostly been sizing related. So we've got like turn frequency errors. And that's it. Like flop frequencies seem pretty decent. Turn frequencies are out. And then we've got sizing errors, which is just whatever, because my opponents are going to be making similar sizing errors. So we're just going to be passing EV back and forth with that sizing errors. Is there room for improvement still? Yes. Am I going to do more work on like trying to figure out which boards call for which sizes? I want to say yes, but whether I actually do or not, who knows? Because it's just so fucking complex. And sometimes I think as long as we're getting the frequency right, am I really that worried about sizes? And I'm not as worried as perhaps I should be. But yeah, overall, happy with how that went. I was expecting to be more butcherings, and there just wasn't. So I'm quite happy with that. And let's just now get on to the end of month results, basically. Here they are. Been a really good month. We've made €2,800 apparently, but that's not necessarily true because there's been some cashing out going on. But that's the graph. Oh no, it can't be the graph. What is going on here? Ah, right, that's just 3Bet Plus. I didn't think I'd made that much fucking money. Hang on a minute while we get this fucking right. Didn't think I'd made that much. I thought, what the fuck is that graph? We had a big downswing at some point. That can't be fucking correct. That's more like it. That's what the graph of the month looks like. Been nearly all 50 NL, I think. Tiny bit of 25 NL in there. Really happy with it. That start of the month, GG, massive heater, playing a lot of the anti games. Went a bit tits up for a bit, went a bit better, tits up again. And it's been a really good, like, strong end to the month. I know the month's not quite finished yet. We've got another 2 days to go, but I won't be making another video till next week now. So it's the end of the month for all intents and purposes of the videos I make. Let's see what we actually made, because we all know I'm a bit of a cash out fanny. So we actually lost money on cashing out. We lost like 2 buy-ins cashing out. I've made my case for this several times. I'm not making it again. I'm happy with that. And if you want to understand why, go back and watch some previous videos. I refuse to go through it again. So we've made €1,786 this month. I also made another $1,300 in rate back. So we've had a 3K month. Fucking delightful. Absolutely delightful. Couldn't be happy with that. So yeah, we're out of here. I shall see you all next month. The rest of this week, there won't be a video. I won't play enough between now and Wednesday to make a video on Thursday. And then we're off to London to watch. We're traveling down Thursday night. We've got a Romford Dogs Friday night. We're going to watch Peter Kay Saturday night. We're coming back Sunday. So yeah, looking forward to it. Got a good week ahead. Take care, everybody, and bye bye for now.